The question of the day is which Locust? I'm talking about 3025 era Locusts. That is the 1S, 1V, 1E, and 1M. Now, some people might say the best Locust is the one that just won a battle, and, for example, not the one that just lost a battle. So maybe that's the best Locust. Other people might say the best Locust is the one that's backed up by longbows and archers and LRM carriers, but that's another story. For now, we're going to just look at a Locust by itself. And how does it do as a combatant, not as a scout, but as an actual combatant? And how does that compare to the various other variants of it? And maybe this will inform you into picking which one you will use in your lance. First, we're going to discuss the 1V variant. This is the standard Locust that everyone starts off as learning about as the Locust. So this it's in the low 400 battle value. It's got a pretty good combat efficiency, very fast. And among Locust variants, it's not too bad, but it's also not the best either, depending on what metrics you're using for your tonnage or sea bills or battle value. And oh, by the way, it was printed first as the LCT-1L, which really it should have been the 1V for Vulcan machine guns. And machine guns are what give it its special skill in killing infantry, but against vehicles you really only get one chance to crit a vehicle at range 9. To fix the only one chance at range 9 to crit a vehicle, we switched the machine guns out to SRM2s. Now you have up to 5 chances to crit out a vehicle at range 9, or just general crit seeking from your SRMs against mechs once their armor has been opened up. But other than that, other than kicking, this is still mostly just a swarmer type mech. But it's almost the same battle value as the 1V, so it's up to you whether you want something more specialized anti-infantry or not. But the SRMs do a good job against infantry too, especially since you can stay at range 9, so only LRM infantry can hit you back. Now the 1E variant, which is the most expensive Locust variant, is a general combatant mech. It's got 2 medium lasers, 2 small lasers. This is good anti-mech, and it does pretty well. It can still handle infantry because each one of its beam weapons only kills 1 soldier per hit, assuming unless they're out in the open or something. Which the SRM version does a little better. But nevertheless, the 1E is the best but most expensive Locust as a general combatant against mechs. Now we have the LCT-1M, which is the LRM-5 version of the Locust. Very weakly armored. You can see just 1 armor bubble in some locations, or even many locations. So you cannot get hit by anything, not even a machine gun. So LCT-1M, highly specialized to run and keep at a distance and to shoot its LRM-5s. Its medium laser should never really see any action. It might even be better to redesign it to strip that off to reduce the battle value. Other than that, it's not too battle value costly, but it generally does not. On tabletop play, most people play it poorly, and it does very poorly because of the lack of armor. If you have an infinite plane, my computer simulations say it can do pretty well because it doesn't run into an edge where it gets blocked and can't escape. So about my computer simulations, it's a round robin. You fight against all these other mechs and vehicles. Some are clan, and also against some groups of mechs, up to full companies. And then the fraction of the time that you win determines your wins. And a Locust will generally defeat infantry and some light vehicles. So some of these win percentages look okay, but remember many of those are against infantry or small vehicles. So again, the 1E is the best, but the others are not that bad either. How the computer simulations are done is it's an infinite two-dimensional plane with a square map, not hex map, and there's no features of any kind, so no partial cover, no water, anything like that. So I've got about 300 different mechs and combinations of mechs implemented, and everyone fights everyone else 2 times. So there's like 600-ish battles. That is, there's 600-ish battles per each mech, as far as determining the win fraction of that specific mech. And then the percentage of the time that you win is determined to be your win fraction. And randomly, you might randomly win against something really big, and that helps. But it doesn't change your general win fraction. It just produces a small amount of noise, because a Locust almost always loses to an Atlas, and often or usually beats a Stinger. Each mech has a optimized strategy based on running many sims before the win fraction sim. That is, a mech is tried out at different ranges and different ammo usage rates and different heat level management level. So each mech is kind of being played the best way possible. Also, back and side shots are possible, but this requires the confluence of events. Usually the mechs will just run at each other or away from each other to maintain their optimal range, but sometimes they get up close and they will pick a random X or Y direction to escape if they want to back off, and then the other mech might fall down or get stuck because its leg gets blown off. And then the first mech might have a side shot. Also, if you win initiative, and if you have the ability to run behind the other mech, you do so. So back shots are also enabled, and the smaller, lighter mechs have the frequent ability to get back shots whenever they win initiative on the slower moving mechs. Also, another important feature of these sims is any mech that only has an upper arm actuator and does not have like a full-length arm like the Locust. I have chosen, and also like the Rifleman too, and as many others, I have chosen reversible arms. That is, they can either shoot in the front arc or the rear arc, but not the side arcs. One last detail, as far as targeting, if you have multiple mech targets, the mechs will just prioritize the mech order in the lance. So whatever order I implemented the list of mechs in the lance, that's the targeting order for the opponent. As far as I can tell, the LCT-1S actually came out of this game book. And I don't see a reference to it anywhere else before it came out of this game book. And these are where you give your game book to the other player, and this is the view out of their window looking at your mech. And you can see here, it's like a deterministic game, roughly factoring in the capabilities of the various mechs. There's like 6 different game books, but I just want to point out that the Locust, the LCT-1S, actually came from this one as the original source material. Then it kind of got co-opted in as canonical. Now, if you have other information or know where it came from before this game book, then please let me know, because this is sort of an interesting point in Battletech history.